So it's Jenny Powers talking about evacuations going on right now as we are continuing to track fires across the Spokane area. I'm Laura Papetti sitting here with Tim Pham as we are having a special report tonight as we are dealing now with multiple fires.
Yes, Laura, we have three main fires that we're keeping a close eye on right now. That started in Airway Heights. There's one in Meade, and then there's also others burning across our region, some even jumping the river and it kind of making a larger fire. But those are kind of the main ones that we're keeping a close eye on right now. So this is obviously a rapidly changing situation. There's level 3 evacuations for a lot of Northwest Spokane and North Spokane right now. So again, if you receive those evacuation notices, please pay attention to them. This is something that we've been monitoring for days now because of that particularly dangerous situation in addition to the red flag warning. And this is not something that we want to see happen, but this is what we are keeping a close eye on right now. You're taking a live look just outside of the VA where there are a lot of evacuations in this area and a lot of thick black smoke too even.
Absolutely, very scary. And they had to evacuate the Veterans Hospital, evacuate Dwight Merkel Sports Complex. So much happening, and we have fire crews across the region right now fighting these fires, emergency services doing what they can. So again, just keeping everybody on high alert, follow those alerts, stay off the roads if you are, do not come down and look at the fires or to look at the evacuations. We want to keep them open for fire crews. On the front lines, of course, is the Department of Natural Resources, and we have Ryan Roderick on the phone with us right now. And Ryan, I wish I didn't talk to you so much this time of year because you are so busy and there's so much happening right now. So thanks for taking the time to be with us today. Let's first talk about the West Spokane County fire in the Airway Heights area. Can you give us some idea of what's happening there, how much land is affected, and have there been any structures that have been impacted directly?
Well, I do want to start, Tim and Laura, by reinforcing what you and what Jenny just said. If you are under a level 3 evacuation notice, please leave immediately. That is not just for your safety. That is not just for your neighbor's safety. It is for our firefighters' safety. Our crews need to get in there to be able to access those properties, access those roads, and help address this fire. Right now, we're estimating that fire at over 2,000 acres. It is extremely wind-driven. As the National Weather Service had predicted, we had that potentially dangerous situation emerge with the fire weather. That is the first time that's happened in the state of Washington, and that is above a red flag warning. So the danger was already extremely high, and now we're starting to see those emerging incidents develop on the landscape. We do have crews that are engaged in all of these emerging incidents, and we will have crews coming in now from around the state to assist us here in the inland Northwest. But it really is a partnership right now between our local fire districts, DNR, and again, those resources from around the state.
And Ryan, I want to ask you about, how this fire is being worked on, because it appears, honestly, in some of our video, it looks kind of like a forest fire. And so when we think about them fire crews trying to dig a line around this and get containment, this seems to be particularly challenging as the fire seems to be spreading from tree to tree, creating that really thick smoke.
That's correct. We refer to this as a crown fire, and it's just like it sounds. It's when fire gets into the crowns of these trees, it gets picked up by the wind, and that can contribute to extremely rapid spread. We are going to put as many air resources as is safe to do so on this fire. And again, as you've noticed and mentioned, as many ground resources as we possibly can, again, calling in on crews from around the state to come in and fight these fires.
Ryan, can you give us an idea of specifics of structures impacted on this fire? Because obviously we were watching it burn in that area where there are homes and then hopping the river. And then, of course, we saw the evacuations over by Dwight Merkel and so forth. Can you give us an idea if structures have been impacted, and if so, how many?
I don't have a count for you. There are structures that are within that fire's footprint, and I suspect there are some structures that have been impacted. But again, I will stress, if you are under that level 3 evacuation order, that means go now. Please do so. Let our fire crews get in there to do their work. Homes and things are replaceable. Your life is not. So
That's right.
Please exercise that safety. If you are under a level 3 evacuation order, please heed that order.
And let's talk a little bit about that. People, need to not only heed those orders because it's their safety. Your firefighters, this is a long, hot season, and they are in the middle of what is a very rapidly changing, dangerous situation. It's good to make note, and you have said it, we have said it, but it never hurts to say it again. It is for the safety of the fire crews as well. They are doing their best, but they're to protect property, but protecting life is their goal. And so the more people we can get out of those danger zones, the better.
Absolutely. Again, please heed those orders. As you mentioned, that's our fire crews need to get in there. It is for firefighter safety as well as your safety. You may not get another warning once that level 3 evacuation notice is given. These are fast-moving fires. Please heed those warnings.
Let me ask you this. How important is it that there's been a disaster declaration in DNR, in other fire crews being able to get the assets that they need for this fire?
So that's extremely important. The governor did declare a disaster declaration, as well as from a statewide perspective, the governor has authorized Commissioner Updegrove's request to mobilize the National Guard statewide. We will have upwards of 100 Guard members that are trained as Type 2 firefighters to come help us address some of these larger fires on the landscape, and that will allow those local fire crews to get freed up and come address some of these emerging incidents.
All right, best thoughts to you, Ryan, and all of your crews as they continue their work. We know how dangerous it is, and we're appreciative, and we will be checking in with you and the Department of Natural Resources, of course, as this day and this weekend continues.